Here.
Hayes.
Here.
Myers.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Thank you. I'd like a motion to reconvene our special meeting. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Benson.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Chavez.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Executive session. Need a motion to go to executive session for our special meeting.
Larry.
Chavez.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Chavez.
Yes.
Hayes. Myers.
Yes.
Williams.
Okay. Before, citizen, I'd like for you to hear me. Before we go to executive session, we are hoping to only be in there a short time. We realize all of you have questions and concerns about the water, and we're going to try to make sure that you are heard tonight. We have been working with the IEPA and the Attorney General today to try to get some of your questions answered. So give us a little time to go back in the back so we can get all of the trustees involved and get them up to date on what the IEPA shared with us today. So we're asking you to be patient today and respect each other, and we should be out real shortly. Thank you very much.
The mayor wants to continue with the meeting. So what we're asking, if anybody would like to come up here and sit across the front, just to clear out their aisles.
We have to clear the aisle.
They'll do it.
We gotta clear out these aisles. If the folks want to come up here in front of the front. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to talk to you.
Okay, if we all going to talk at the same time, you're not going to hear it. What I'm asking you to do so that we can try to get through this meeting, so that you can try to get some of your questions answered, we have to clear the aisle by fire regulation. We have to clear the doors here. So what I'm asking you is standing back in the back right there. If you would love to come up front there, if you don't mind sitting on the floor, you can come up here.
Y'all come on in.
Or anybody that's sitting in the chairs. If you don't mind giving your chair to someone and you come up on the floor. That's all we ask. Because we definitely got to get through this meeting.
Let's go. That's right. Come on in. Y'all come on in. Ain't no problem. Come on in. Come on in.
We'll grab her a chair, but they won't give it.
Excuse me just one second. I'm hoping that all the ladies are seated, especially the seniors. And I'm looking out and I don't see that happening. So I'm hoping that all the ladies are seated, especially the seniors. That's why we got extra chairs.
Senior citizen, please. Senior citizen. Got some seats in that front. Senior down. Chair. Ladies and gentlemen, there is all right. Need to make a hall for my all right. Get a motion to reconvene our special meeting for adjournment. Need a motion to Need a motion to reconvene our special meeting for adjournment. Need a second? Second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, need a motion to call to order our regular committee meeting.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Motion carried. Need a motion now to table item 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So moved.
Second.
Comment. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Yes.
You said number 2?
Item 2.
Is number 2 here?
Yeah, we've already spoke with they're going to be meeting with the village manager in the morning.
Okay, then yes.
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 Hold on one moment, Ms. Cass. People are still seated. Hold on one moment. Now you get everybody seated.
Those chairs cannot sit in the aisle. No chairs, sir. No chairs in the aisle. Gotta have an aisle. Chief, I think that's all the chairs we can handle in here. Chief, I think that's all the chairs we can handle.
They're not going to talk to you until they finish. She can hold her hand up on it. They're not going to, until it goes to public speaking, they're not going to do nothing.
Citizens of Sauk Village, we know we have some serious issues here with our water. We are asking that you be patient tonight and listen to everybody who has a question. We cannot allow a person to come up and ask a question and everybody else talk over that person or talk over the answer. If we are going to try to get through this tonight, or we're going to try to get through this water situation, we are all going to have to work together on this. Because let me tell you, we do have some serious issues here with the water. So we're asking you to be patient, and if you cannot get your question answered tonight, we are going to have another meeting where everybody will have seated. I've already talked with the superintendent of District 168, Mr. Al Travelina, who is here tonight. We will have another meeting, and if the question did not get answered tonight, we will have your answer for you when you get ready to ask the question at our next meeting.
When's the next meeting?
Right now, we're still waiting on an answer from Mr. Travelina for when we're going to have it. But everybody will be notified. We're notified just like we did. We will hold put it in the newspaper. We'll be on the website. We'll be here posted at the Village Hall. So at this time, we will have Trustee Williams.
I just have a question. Number one, the podium is in the back of the room. I didn't know if you were going to be asking people to settle to the podium. And if there's a microphone there, and if we're going to go by the standard rules of every board meeting, where it's 3 minutes per question so that everybody has an opportunity to not ramble on and everybody has an opportunity to ask this question. Because I see a lot of new faces, and I'm not sure that everybody knows what's normal practice for question and answer. So if you could just please repeat that and make sure there's a microphone there.
Because of the length of time and because of the number of people we have here with us tonight, and we certainly thank each one of you for coming out and your concern. But we're going to limit the question to 2 minutes instead of 3 minutes. So get your 2 minutes, ask your question, someone will try to answer it, and we will move on to the next person. Okay.
Can you guys hear me? I I would ask for you, any outbursts or comments, please hold those until the public comment section, because if you do not, guys, I will have to ask you to leave. Okay, so let's try to have some decorum and get through this as fast as possible, okay? Thank you. I have one.
Okay, first question. Yeah. Maybe after I make my statement, we'll probably get an opportunity to answer most of your questions. We don't have to tell you that there's concerns about the water. We've been talking about that for a number of years now. But now we have reached the level and the two wells that's providing for water to our residents that is unsafe for our residents. The IEPA has had their testing. The public works has done their testing. So right now, we met with the IEPA today. We met with the Attorney General office today. We are still, the Attorney General and the IEPA is continuing to do testing. So right now, the information that we're going to be sharing with you tonight is not, it's the information that the IEPA is saying this is the concrete information that you should be sharing right now. So we want to make sure our primary resident is to work with the IEPA and to work with the Attorney General to make sure that we are providing the best safety, best quality of water for all of our residents of Sauk Village.
Mr. Mayor, can you hear me, sir? Yes. Mr. Mayor, the water that we have right now, flowing in our home, is this water safe for drinking consumption? And is it safe for baths, any household needs we have right now? That is the answer that I need from anybody else, sir.
Talking with the IEPA today, meeting with the Attorney General today, they are saying that the level of contamination in the water is much higher than we have expected. And at this point, they did not say, at this point, they did not say that we cannot drink the water or use it.
Let me simplify a little more for you, sir. Yes or no? Can we drink this water from our tap?
No.
Again, meeting with the IEPA today, with their testing, and remind you, they are still doing testing. We will not know exactly what their finished testing will probably within the next couple of days. They're ongoing testing, and right now, we're still waiting on the final testing from the IEPA.
And I'll just have two more questions and I'll leave it for number two. For bathing purposes, is this water safe for us?
I'll go back to the same thing that the IEPA has said. We can only go by what the IEPA and the Attorney General is giving us right now. They are doing the testing. We're waiting on their final analysis right now.
Final question to you. I want the residents of Sauk Village not to get down and have first muscle resistance, some type of treatment for the water system. How is our water now? Can we drink that water? So, if you have a reverse osmosis system, and I know a lot of residents here in town may not have it, but some do. No for us. There's no question we didn't receive an answer on there. Will is our reverse osmosis system for our water softening system.
Until we get another direction from the IEPA or the Attorney General office, yeah, the water you can use. You can still use the water until we get another direction from the IEPA. will you come up?
Why am I beating around the bush? Because for the simple fact, we have small children in this area that have to drink the water, bathe in the water, wash their hair. You are beating around the bush. Those people are not here for nothing. They're here because they said we cannot drink the water. If you're not answering the question, I want to know why. Right. It's a yes or no answer.
And I thank you for that question. I mean, my position has been all the time that we need to move into another direction for quality of water in Sauk Village. I've always been fighting that. But until I get the direction from the IEPA or the Attorney General who states or says to me, we can no longer use the water here in Sauk Village, I still will have to say that the water we still can use. Until we can get the direction from them. And there would be no reason for me to beat around the bush on anything when I've been fighting this position all the time. I will not hold anything back from anybody. But until we get the direction from them, my position, I will have to follow their direction. I am not an engineer, I am not a chemist, I use their direction. That's what I have to use. Okay, now we're not gonna tolerate you just hollering out in there. If you want to ask the question, then get in the line.
That's right. So if you say that we're going to water now, and everyone is saying that we can't drink the water, you saying wait till tomorrow, next week. So in this period of time, for us and our family, what do we do? You just drink the water and then later on you tell us it's not safe? The water looks like this. This is nasty.
It is nasty. So I would break it.
We want our families to live, not that.
Again, I would say that we've seen water like this many a time. We've seen water like this. But at the direction now of the IEPA and the Attorney General, yes, we're happy. We'll be working with them. I'm saying in a couple of days we will know what their direction for the village of Sauk Village.
For my kids, I mean, because you know it's gonna be 100 degrees all the way from this week into next week. I mean, what is it that we can do?
Again, I would go what the IEPA is saying. They have not said that the water is not safe to drink. We're still working with the IEPA to get a better direction of what we should tell the citizen of Sauk Village.
Okay, so all this the news saying that they got cancer and all this, that's not true.
We're saying, yes, well, here's what we're saying. We're saying that the level of contamination that's in the water is much higher than we had expected when the IEPA took their testing. Yes.
So is it easier for the kids to catch lead and other things like that? You know, I'm concerned with Section 8. I don't want me to get mess in my life trying to come and take my kids over to school. That no one ever told me nothing about it. They never told me to live there. Nobody never told me not to walk. So I thought we moved in already. So I don't want nobody, you know, calling DCFS or the hospital stuff report my kids getting sick, you know, because they have been in there for itchy skin. You know, so I just want to know if it's safe, let them finish drinking it. I mean, until they pass out, what? It's all right?
I'm going to say this again. We have been doing everything possible to make sure that we provide safe safe drinking water for our residents. We definitely have to reach out to the IEPA, which we have to meet their standard. We have to reach out to the Attorney General. So until we get direction, until the administration get the direction from the IEPA and the Attorney General to say, no, you cannot drink the water, or no, you cannot bathe in the water, we will continue to work with them on that. Hold it down, citizen, please.
My name is Yolanda Whitey. For 2 months I bought samples here. My child has skin problems. It is a problem with water. For 2 months I bought it in. I was told that the well was being flooded. I was told that this is why the water was this color, orange. I took my child to the doctor. She has a skin condition. There is a problem with the water. And I would like to know, what are you going to do about it? I cannot afford to buy water. The amount of water that you're asking is because you start bathing in the water. It's enough. We want the water. It doesn't work. Your hands go this way. Yeah, your hands go water. And have you washed your clothes and stuff? Your clothes are discolored. You know, you have stuff from the skin condition. You know, I got a child, and I can show you her back. She has skin conditions because of this water. And I would like to know. Thank you.
We have been working with the IEPA. We've been working with the public work. The village board has been working to try and provide a better, safe quality of water for the residents of Sauk Village. Those of you that know that voted for it, we got it on a referendum, we got it passed. We were moving in that direction to bring Lake Michigan water to our residents. But now that the contamination is rising higher than we had anticipated, now that we're going to have to come up with an emergency plan. And we've already started putting that emergency plan in place. What we have to do now is provide the IEPA and the Attorney General's office with that emergency plan. And that way, they will approve the emergency plan, and we will let the citizens of Sauk Village know the direction that we will be moving into after this.
In the meanwhile, we willing to provide those of us who cannot afford to continue to buy bottled water. We can provide some of this expense for us. Because we have children, like the lady said, we have children. Will you be willing to provide us bottled water? We're paying for clean water. Will you be willing to provide us bottled water?
In the event that if the IEPA says that we will have to provide bottled water to our residents, that is part of the plan that we've already put together to pass to the IEPA for approval.
I have been living here for 35 years. Someone called me this morning about the water, and I was told you got a loan from the IEPA 5 years ago to fix one of these wells, and it didn't happen. Both of them are down. What's your answer to that?
Well, I was not the mayor 5 years ago, so I don't know what the answer with that would be. I don't know that we have a law. Trustee Hanks, you were here. Maybe you want to answer that question.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm sorry, man, what was your name?
She stated that the village received a loan 5 years ago.
I was told the village received $10,000 5 years ago to fix the bad well. Now all 3 wells are bad. Where did this money go, and why are we in this predicament?
I think it's a great question, and as the mayor stated earlier tonight, that if all the questions aren't answered, we'll do our best to answer them. To go back and remember 5 years ago, The village takes out loans for local reasons, to repair wells, also to do other infrastructure repairs.
And if you're going to talk over him, now he allows you to talk.
So what we have to do is they have to go back and research and find out if their loan was ever applied for, if the village ever received the funds, and what the funds were used for. I'm unable to answer your question tonight the way that you worded it.
My name is Kathy Kaiser. One question I have is, I'm not understanding why I had to hear about this on the news. I work every day, and I mean, we get flyers about picnics, politicians, elections, and everything else. But I had to have my friends from Chicago call me. I had to watch it on the news today on my phone. And this is such an issue that I'm concerned about things that we don't hear that we should hear in our neighborhood. I heard about cancer, it causes cancer, and since I moved out here, I was healthy when I moved out here. Now I have more issues, not only with me, but in my home. And it's really a concern. So I want to know why we didn't hear about this in our village and the rest of the world knows about it.
When we received the letter from the IEPA stating that there was a problem with the well, then we reached out to them to have that meeting today to find out what do we need to do to inform the citizens of Sauk Village about the problem that we have with our wells. They've put together a press release. It's on the website. It's here, posted here. We are going to put out one, but after speaking with them today, we'll be putting out one along with their press release on tomorrow after we finish putting it together. We're prepared to give and share as much information as we can to our residents of Sauk Village.
You understand my point, though? It's like we're saying now things, not secondhand, but thirdhand. And we live here, so that's a big issue.
Well, the thing of it, we want to make sure that we have the proper information to pass on. We don't want to pass you something, telling you something that is not correct. That's why we had the meeting with the people that we are working with to make sure that we gather the information and have the correct information to pass on. Now we'll be doing that. We've already started the process. We adhered to the IEPA letter that they put their new release out today. We are going to be putting out new release out tomorrow, and we'll be sharing the information that we got. Yes.
Okay, can you speak about the cancer issue they're talking about on the news? They're saying that it's something in the water that can cause cancer?
Biochloride. The cancer, we're saying that it's a potential health problem. But it is biochloride, yes. They're saying after consuming it over a period of time, it could lead to possible cancer.
None of them up there drink the water out there. So they bullshit. Mother got cancer.
My name is Richard Wilson. I've been out here since 1996. And this is the first time that I've seen the old and the new come together. And we cannot blame Mayor Towers or the board for us with our applicant. Okay? The lady that came here, okay, I bought a water softener because my son has a skin condition. And when we first moved out here, everybody was scratching an itch. My dogs refused to drink water. Now you ask me what my motivation was to come to Sauk Village. The motivation was very simple. The taxes were cheap.
Ain't no more.
Okay. And I didn't know about the situation, but
I think at this point in time that we got to stop pointing the blame. Now, we know there's some issues. Mayor Childs and the board, they can't act until they get consistency. Now, my question is, have we solicited some type of federal help or not? And then the second question I have, if I have to continue to buy water, and I'm not directing this to just the mayor, but it's the board decision, if I can have to continue to buy water, do I need to pay that portion of that water?
Thank you.
Let me try and answer your first question first about the federal money that we have reached out to. In fact, we received a call. We put in a call to Governor Quinn today after coming back from downtown seeking help. We have reached out to some other elected officials. We're asking for help. We've reached out to anybody that can help us fix this problem. We'll continue to reach out to seek all the information, all the help, so we can resolve this issue for our citizens.
Mayor, can we be provided with this information on who you are seeking out so we all can make phone calls and do this collectively?
In fact, we will put a list tomorrow so you can have who your state senator is, your congressman is, well, of course, the governor, your state senator. We will have all of those. And we would encourage all of you, because this is a problem for all of us that live here. Whatever you can do to help us fix this problem, we're welcome your help and your support.
This is about the our water bill. I mean, we did some relief on the water bill until we are certain. Because right now, I'm thinking, I'm in the very beginning. I need to get the water safe where I can use it, but it doesn't make sense for me to pay the water. Okay, I'm not talking about sewer or garbage, but that portion of the bill, the water should come free until we get it.
And that is a very good question. In fact, we have talked about that today. The board has talked about that today. But because of the quickness of this, we have not discussed whether or not it's going to be free water, what we're going to do. Right now, we're still in the planning stage here. We're going to need a few more days to try to make sure the plan that we put together with the IEPA and with you, for you, to make sure that you're comfortable with it. We're going to need a few more days to make sure this plan is in place where it's going to be comfortable for everybody. And certainly, we did look at that, whether or not we will continue to charge our residents the full price, no price, or what. That is something that the board is going to have to work together on and decide, and you will be hearing something of that in the next couple of days.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
My name is William Knowles. I've been here for 3 years. Pay my water bill, pay. I do. Since we've been here, we talked about APA, can't tell us nothing. You really don't have no answers for us today until the next meeting. He went to one of your other trustees. He has no answer to other issues. You telling us you have no answers really today to bring to us, to solve our problem.
I'm telling you that we're still in the planning stage. I cannot just tell you until I get the information. And I think I stated that earlier. I don't want to give you some information that is not correct. I'm seeking out the people that has the answer for me to provide you, and when we get those answers, and we hope we will get those answers in the next couple of days. We have a plan to give the IEPA, we have a plan to give the Attorney General. We're going to give them that plan. We're going to ask them for their suggestion again. What do we need to tell the residents of Sauk Village? And I'm hoping that in the next couple of days that they will be able to give me an answer. So I will be here to stand when we have the next meeting and say to our citizens what you can do with the water. Here's what we need to do. Here's what we're going to provide for you.
Okay, so you have no answer. You say you don't have it. Okay, my next question. Water bill about to come out. Okay. You probably don't have an answer for this. Do we pay it? I mean, we already, you don't say we want to pay it. So, I mean, what's your question?
I am not going to tell anybody at this point until the board decides. The board will have to get together to decide which direction, whether or not we are going to charge water, whether we're not going to charge a fraction of the fee, or whether or not we're going to pass it on. At this point tonight, no, I do not have an answer. I will not tell you, anyone in this room, to hold their bill until not to pay it. No, I will not tell you that.
Okay. I'm good. I'll wait till your next week. You're welcome.
Sorry about that. I wanted to know the ability to independent testing of the water separate from the EPA. They do. So if they do testing separately, there was obviously amounts of vinyl chloride and other dissolved organic compounds in the water. Why are we just hearing about it today? No one waits until their car runs out of gas to put gasoline in it. They put gas in before they run out. So you guys have known the levels have been high and close to dangerous levels, but nothing has been said. Why is that?
I'm not sure how long you say you've been out here, but we've been fighting this. The IEPA, listen, now you ask the question, then seek the answer. The IEPA has been putting out their own newsletter. This is no secret. We're not holding anything back. The IEPA, this is probably the third letter they have put out saying that there's a concentration of a rising contamination in the water, but they did not test it themselves. If we had our testing were done by our public works department, then they would pass the testing on to whoever have their testing. At that time, those testing did not show a high elevated or contamination in the water. We just found out about the high contamination in the well in the last probably 3 weeks when the IEPA came in and wanted to do their own testing. They did their testing, found out there was a high concentration of a contaminant in the well. Then they came out and did a second testing, and that's why we are where we are today.
Well, your tests are bad. You just stated that IEPA, the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, came to you 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Stating that you might have high contamination levels. How come there wasn't a newsletter put out stating that, hey, we might have high contamination levels?
They wanted to be sure. That's why they did a second test. That's why they did. They wanted to make sure before we start putting out information. And certainly, you know that those type of agencies, they want to make sure that they have all the correct information, all the correct data, and that's why they got a second opinion on it.
I think that's all I want to know.
I am really concerned about this water because cancer run in my family really bad. I almost lost my mama to cancer. And now y'all telling me that if me and my kids drink this water and which we have, we gonna get cancer. And y'all can't tell me nothing. Y'all ain't gonna tell us when we gonna get Chicago water, how we gonna get it, how we gonna get some better water. Or y'all can't supply us with water for the ones that can't afford to get hit this spring.
You remember that was a referendum on the ballot. We made sure we fought for that referendum so we could make sure that the citizens of Sauk Village, if they wanted Lake Michigan water, the first thing we had to do was make sure that we put it on the ballot so they can vote for it. Arbitrarily, we cannot just go and say, I'm talking about the board or the administration. We cannot say that we're going to move toward Lake Michigan water unless the citizens voted on it.
And we did.
You did vote on it, and we started moving toward that direction.
So how long we have to wait? Because cancer run my family bad, and my little sister, baby, she ain't telling you the whole story. But my little nephew itches every day for no reason. And ain't no bumps or nothing on him. He ain't got no bite marks or nothing, but he just itching. And y'all just say, would you drink the water? No. Are you drinking the water?
No,
so what about the people that can't afford to buy Hickory Spring? I pay 2 water bills. I pay South Village water bill and a Hickory Spring water bill. What about the people that can't afford water? That can't get Hickory Spring?
I sympathize with it, and again, those of you that have been here for 3 or 4 years, you know my position on this. You know I've been fighting for this from day one, and I will continue to fight. That's what I'm doing now. That's why I'm reaching out. That's why I asked the IEPA to come in and do the testing. We need to find a better quality of water in Sauk Village, and I will not stop until we get there.
Before I got here, I was telling I got congestive heart failure. My heart only works 15 to 20%. Y'all can't tell me why. Nobody don't know why, but y'all didn't try to fix the situation because y'all said y'all wait on the IEP people. Y'all need to do something yourself. This is our town. This is our village. Y'all need to stick out and do it.
You keep saying that we're not doing anything. We went to the referendum. We've already started the process for Lake Michigan water. Those of you that came to all the number of meetings that we had, you know, a project that size, it's going to take time to fix, to implement. To go to Lake Michigan water is not going to happen overnight. We all know that. We all came to these meetings that we had. I asked and the board, we had a number of different town hall meetings so you can get information that whether or not that you wanted to go to Lake Michigan water. We provided those meetings, you went to Lake Michigan water.
Mr. Mayor, the lights. Frank Hall, I've been reporting this representation. Then I just rain. But the question is, you said that IEPA said they would use the water would use them. You mentioned 2 minutes when this started, but people didn't ask multiple questions. We got a line of people back here. Now, my question is simple this. When you say 2 minutes, stick to 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
That's a good question.
Let me just say, citizen, and Mr. Harris is correct on that, but we do have the village clerk is keeping time. I mean, we're not just arbitrarily letting people just talk. You have your 2 minutes. You can ask as many questions as you want and within that 2 minutes. But she is keeping time, and she will not let you know if you're going over 2 minutes. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Janice Clark. I hope everybody can hear me. I'm going to ask about 3 questions. Please don't answer the questions until I'm done with them. I'll take up my time. What is the federal level of vinyl chloride? Federal. And what have our tests shown? What has EPA shown in the past? Because I remember getting a letter in 2009 from the EPA saying that we have a problem. Okay, that's question 1. And don't say you just start hearing from them 3 weeks ago, because it's not a fact. All right? Has the EPA applied any fines to us today? Or did they speak of fines? 3rd question. Did the IEPA have any solution if their tests show too high? I mean, obviously we have some infrastructure down Sauk Trail as far as Blue Trail. I know it's more than a mile from there to the pumping stations. Okay? What are we supposed to do? Because one of the things that some of the trustees tried to do last week on July 10th, according to the agenda, this is item 5, number 6, had a motion to move forward and approve an IPEA loan application for the purpose of acquiring airstripping for the village well system. And you made it a fact, that's one of 5 items. But you said you were going to veto at the next meeting. So don't say you're trying to move forward.
To answer your question about the fines, no, the IEPA has not imposed any fines upon the village yet.
That's one question.
Okay. The other question is about what direction that we're moving into to get better water. What would you
Okay, I said, what is the federal level of VC in the water? And that's 1.0, am I correct? And ours is federal.
Yeah, the federal maximum contamination level is 2 parts per billion. The 1.0 that you might have seen is the Illinois maximum contamination level prevention standard.
We are at 1.63 right now?
The most recent test that was taken by the IEPA came back at 1.68 parts per billion.
Okay, that's in all wells?
That's at the main.
The main?
Tap 01, so it's the finished water supply that comes from all the wells.
Okay.
Wells 1 and 2.
Okay. Did the IEPA have any solutions as to what we should do if their test comes back and says we're above level?
Yes, their recommendation is that to go to the airstripping. That's what their recommendation is.
Okay, so one of the things you were going to veto. I have one other question. At the last meeting, it was a...
Okay, your time's up.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, my name is Kim Smith, and I have a lot of questions, but I'm going to limit it to just 2. The first question is, there's an apparent conflict of interest between you and the IEPA because the news alerted everyone here that there's definitely a problem with our water. Whether you want to let us know it or not today, we know it's a problem. Now, what I want to say today, looking out for us and you all as well, if you drink the water, should we get tested to measure the amount of vinyl chloride that's in our systems? Because the Agency for Toxic Substances and Diseases Control can come out and test us to see what levels we are for the vinyl chloride being in our system. Do we have to wait? Do we have to wait until for years for cancer to reach our systems or any other immune deficiencies in order to deem that this water is unsafe, or should we get tested now? That's my question.
Whether or not you should get tested. The IEPA has not said to this board or myself that we at a level where you need to get tested. I mean, that would be a question that we will pose to them, certainly, and then we will get back to you on that, because that's the first time we heard whether or not our residents should get tested for the vinyl chloride.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, for the people, I have a number for you all to call if you want to get tested. It's the Agency for Toxic Substance Diseases registry. It's 1-800-CDC-INFO.
All right, girl.
And I welcome that information because it's no secret. We know that when we have some concern with our well, we know that. So if anyone feels that they need to want to get tested, you have the information, or you can see the young lady at different meetings. Yes, ma'am. Can you talk in the mic, please?
Mr. Mayor, my name is Bernice Flores. I want to offer this board some facts. Facts they
Well 3 has since been shut down. In May of 2011, 5 members of this board refused to tell residents that we had problem with well 1. My question is to you, what is this board prepared to do for the safeguards of the citizen? Second question is, we can't believe anything you guys are saying. Public Works has been testing this water for years. This is way before the mayor came on board. They've been giving out false information about this water. We have been paying since 2006 to have those wells repaired and maintenance, and it has not been done. We would like to know what happened to the darn money. That's right. We'd like to know why you guys are sitting on not fixing those wells. And we voted for Lake Michigan water, and we intend to get it. Don't come up here with air stripping. That's a waste of our money. Robinson Engineering has told you guys that it's just redundant. And we don't need to be paying $500 for something that's not going to work when Lake Michigan can solve every problem Illinois EPA has had. Illinois EPA has told you guys that there's a problem with the well, and yet you want us to pay $600,000 more for air stripping when you know it's not any good for us. We're tired of this water. We want Lake Michigan water. We voted for it. You cannot ignore us. That we have filed this board because they don't know what happened to the money. The money just walked out of here. Give me a name number. We're going to find out what happened to our money. We paid money to get those wells fixed, they're not fixed. What happened to our money?
To answer your question on the air stripping, no, I was not in favor, and I'm still not in favor of air stripping. My direction is to move Sauk Village toward Lake Michigan water. That's what I've been fighting for all the time. But, and I want you to hear this. When I say but, speaking with the IEPA today, and speaking with the Attorney General today, the direction now will be to move toward air stripping because we don't have the time to go to Lake Michigan water. Not saying, hold on, I want you to hear it. We're not saying that we abandon the project for Lake Michigan water. But in order to get quick, safe, clean water for the residents to use right now, we have to go to air stripping. That is what their recommendation is. I can't do nothing else. Unless someone else out there, unless someone else come up with a better plan. That is the plan that we plan to go to because that is their recommendation. In order to keep the village afloat, keep us going, we have to do something with those wells right now. They will not wait until we go to Lake Michigan water.
Jump in the mic.
Yeah, my name is Derek Thompson. I'm pretty much here to encourage the people of the residents. I just got some stats also. The last election, they had the referendum. It was 640 people against it, 700 people.
You got to speak loud.
1,400 people, 1,480 people voted in this last election for the water. There's over 8,000 citizens out there in Sauk Village. I'm just encouraging everybody to get more involved. What's going on in your village, you know? So a lot of people say they didn't know about it, they didn't hear about it. I know personally myself, I knocked on just about every, I won't say every door, but just about every door in Sauk Village. When I was campaigning for election in April 2011, I knocked on just about every door. That's one of the things we campaigned on, telling everybody about the water is bad. So it's shocking that everybody in the audience said they don't know the water is bad. We passed out tons of literature. I spent thousands of dollars campaigning, and that's the main thing we were saying. The mayor was with me, we walked on several doors telling people that and that's the one thing he ran on talking about the water. And so we don't really want to bash what's going on with these people up here. All the one is trying to rectify the situation. And if it's people that's up there that's been there for 12 years, 8 years, and they doing it. But it don't matter now. The problem is the situation that they're trying to fix. They might have dropped the ball 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. But it's up to us as citizens to get involved. There's no way we had the last election, only 1,400 people voted for the water is over 8,000 people out here. I know the last election when I ran for trustee, I think it was only like 1,500 people that actually voted for the trustees out here in Sauk. It was 8,000 people. So it's a shame on the people because you're all not out here making your voice heard. You're the ones that's not out here coming to the polls and voting for the people who believe in it. Personally, I put almost 1,000 yard signs in the yards and people was telling me they was going to vote for me. Over 1,000 houses had my yard signs in it. I only got 450 votes, 480 votes.
Election time. Hey,
so y'all gotta get involved in what's going on in the community. We gotta vote.
Hi, my name is Deanna Jennings. I have 3 questions. Number 1, when these proceedings first started, you stated that you had no knowledge of this water being unsafe.
No, ma'am, I did not say that. I've always had knowledge of the water.
You said that you had no knowledge that it was unsafe for us to drink. However, the news clearly stated that it is unsafe to drink. So I'm wondering why we're getting conflicting information. Secondly, I'd like to know why isn't someone from the EPA or the Attorney General, why don't they have spokespersons here to let us know their findings? Third of all, with all due respect, I'd like to know, are you the mayor for the people or for your constituents and counterparts?
I'm the mayor for all of Sauk. I've been the mayor for all of Sauk. I put together a plan for Lake Michigan water. We put together a referendum. That's what the people spoke for. I've always supported that. There's no secret about that. So I'm supporting everybody. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. It doesn't matter whether you voted for Sauk Village water or not. My job is to make sure that we have the best quality of water for all of Sauk Village. My job is to make sure that our streets are safe. My job is to make sure that
Are you going to do your job then, sir?
I am doing my job, man.
Drinking water. Can you please answer my other question as well?
The other question is what?
Why isn't there someone here from the Attorney General and the EPA? And also, why is your answer conflicting with what we heard in the media this morning?
I'm not sure what you heard in the media, ma'am.
The water is unsafe to drink, right?
I was also on the, gave a report to the media, and not one time that I said the water was unsafe to drink. I always stated that I would have to get the information from the IEPA and the Attorney General to make sure that that is what they want the information out to the city. I don't know other way I can answer your question. I don't know who gave you the information from the news. I don't have anything to do with the news. What you heard on the news, you didn't hear me say it on the news.
So I'm wondering why are we getting conflicting information? That was my question, sir.
I can't answer why you're getting conflicting information. I can only answer you the information that is given to me. Now, what you hear on the news, I can't answer that. What you're hearing from me,
for nothing.
You're welcome.
My name is Courtney Hadley. I have 3 drinks for anybody on board. This is from an excursion that happened on March 26, 2009. My neighbor alerted me to this. When I called the village and asked what was going on because my water was burning, they said they had no knowledge of it. Long story short, nobody addressed the issue. And later I found out there was an excursion because water main broke. When I moved to this village, I already had health problems. I have something that has taken out 2 people that I'm sure everybody in this room knows. If I mention their name, I have sarcoidosis. I suffered with it since 1999. Unfortunately, Mr. White and Mr. McCullough didn't make it. And I'm still here. And I plan to be here. And I'm going to be a thorn in your flesh to get this water right. Because I know what you did in 97. You sat here and lied to the people. You, Mr. Towers, personally, but the board board did. And there's enough members on this board that are still here that were there in 97 and they lied to the people. And they need to stop lying. If you're going to take your mama, father, dad before you do something, if you're going to take your grandchild getting sick with an aneurysm before you decide to do something, this needs to come to an end. This is a travesty. We have the water quality. We don't even have the water quality that they have in Burkina Faso. This is a travesty. Either piss or get off the pot.
My name is James Rowe, and my question follows up on the comments made by the gentleman. You know, I see that Sauk Village had the first referendum just recently, including water. This is something that's been known about for years. Someone told me since 1988. And there are many board members here on this board of trustees who have been sitting in DC for a number of years, some 10 years or more, some a little bit less. My question is about accountability, because I think that's, besides getting the water fixed, a quick fix or a long-term fix, this is about accountability. I want to know on the board from Derek Burgess, Mr. Chavez, Mr. Benson, Mr. Haynes, Mr. Myers, Ms. Williams. I think all the questions will be going to the mayor. I want to know, what were you doing during this time? Now, I don't know. Some of you might be diligently working behind the scenes. But what's happening here in this community, we have poison water, basically. Yeah. So what was the priority of the individual board members? And, you know, you can make up for past mistakes. We want to see what are your priorities moving forward from this day on to remedy this situation. Because let me tell you this, I'm a new resident of Sauk Village. And when I first came to a board meeting, because wherever I live, I'm going to be active or at least aware, I was ashamed of what I saw and heard. And I know things get heated, and that's good. That's real good. We have active trustees, and there's going to be contention. But right now, this is a serious priority. This is an emergency. So let's talk about accountability here. If you want to, I don't know how to procedure work, maybe some of you can speak up about your role or lack thereof. If not, let's get on board. That's all I have to say. But I want to know, what has been the accountability here?
Before I allow the trustee to answer, I just wanted to remind the citizen, this last referendum was not the first referendum that we tried to get passed. I tried to get a referendum passed before then, but it was knocked off the ballot. And it was supported by some of these very trustees you're gonna hear from. So again, we was able to get this a referendum on the ballot and to get it passed because the citizens asked for it, and that's what it's many times in the streets of Sauk Village, at the grocery store, at McDonald's, anywhere the citizens meet me with. The first thing they ask me about is when are we going to do something with the water? And my job is to tell them we are moving toward Lake Michigan water. We started with the first referendum, that got knocked off the ballot. We were able to put the other one on. We were moving toward Lake Michigan water now. So now I'll let the trustee make whatever the question that you asked. Thank you.
Talk in the mic.
I think the first time. Thank you, Thank you, young man. My name is Benson. I've been a trustee for 3 years now. It is a travesty. This accident is happening. And when I say accident, believe me, it is no accident. Our water system has been bad for many, many years. Very, very bad. And in my opinion, I'm not going to let IEPA or the Attorney General tell me what I can't tell my citizens when it comes comes to their life. You have elected us for a purpose. And one of those purposes is to protect you, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. And then I'm going to do that. And they will not stop me, even if it means me going to jail. There is no gag. There is no gag placement on our mouths. Our water is contaminated and it's very bad. I will not drink it. Don't drink the water. The contamination level is extremely high, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse. There are certain things that you have to think about on your own, on what you should do with this water. And for right now, the only thing I will do with the water is use it to flush my toilet, and that's it. Now, it is up to you to decide on what else you're going to use this water for. But for me, I won't even give it to my dog. Because it is very, very bad. As I said, it's getting worse. But understand this. There are people up here on that board who do not want that Lake Michigan water. And they are fighting me on every way they can not to bring it in. But I'm going to do all I can to make sure that that referendum that you pass will happen. The reason why they are pushing airstripping is like the mayor said, we need to do something right away. But you have Trustee Hanks up here, and Trustee Williams up here, and Trustee Burgess up here, and Trustee Myers don't want that Lake Michigan water. And they say they do, but they are lying. They do not. And I was talking with the mayor today, and I said, no citizen in this village should pay a water bill until you. No citizen in this village should pay a water bill until we can bring in safe quality and quantity of water to drink and to use in this village. And also, I have always said that no citizen should have to pay a testing fee on contaminated water. The mayor is absolutely right. That's right. These trustees up here are fighting us on everything that we do. Hey, Trustee Burgess, Trustee Chavez, he's a new trustee, and he's fighting. You got Trustee Williams, you got Trustee Hayes, you got Trustee Myers, even the village clerk. They're doing all they can to sabotage our work. It's not going to happen. No citizen in this village should pay for Lake Michigan water because you did not contaminate the water. Someone else did. And we need to go after them because we actually know who they are. We know who they are. We need to go after them and make them pay for our water connection and Lake Michigan water. Not no citizen should pay for that water. I'm going to do all I can. What you are about to hear is from the other trustees, they will lie to you. I'm telling you like it Because I'm up here. And like I told you before, no IEPA or no attorney general is going to tell me what to tell my citizens, because I also live in this village. I also pay taxes. They don't. And we got to get the water. They don't. And that's very, very important. So let them talk. They want to talk. But these trustees have been up here for many, many years. 2 terms, some 3 terms. And they are the reason why you don't have Mr. Water right now. They have done all they can. They have done all they can. Point of order, Mr. Mayor. They have done all they can to silence me, but it's just not going to happen. Because I serve an awesome God that's much greater than me. And I am not afraid what man can do to me, but I am afraid what God can do. And when the man I ran, as a matter of fact, I want many people to look up here and you see the mayor. You see the village clerk, you see Ed Myers, and you see Rosie Williams, and you see myself. We ran on the same ticket. We ran on bringing Lake Michigan water in this village. And when we got in here, Trustee Williams' turn, Ed Myers' turn, and the village clerk turned against the citizens and against us. It was very sad because they were going to allow IEPA and Attorney General to dictate how we inform our citizens on our water issue. It's a great issue out here. And all I'm saying is, use your head when it comes to this water. We know we can't drink the water. I know I won't drink it. They won't drink it. None of them drink this water in here. So why do they want you to even pay for water you cannot drink? So once again, I have heard somebody say earlier that we shouldn't point the finger. Oh yeah, you better point the finger. Because if you don't, you're going to be paying for it for the rest of your lives. And it's not your fault. The person who protects the people or the business who contaminate our water, the people who allow it should be removed from office and the person should be sued for the problem of water. Look around you. Look at this bill. The person who talks the most are the most guilty ones. The ones who want to respond to me, the ones who want to respond to me are the most guilty ones. Because they want to say something to cover their own butt, but it's not going to happen. These people are not dumb. These people are not dumb. They think you are, but you are not dumb. We have a great issue. And you're right. You're absolutely right, sir. We cannot work together. You're absolutely right. And you see why we can't work together. We can't work together because there's a power struggle up here. Everybody wants to be the mayor, but there's only one mayor. Everybody wants to do the job. Everybody wants to do the job of a village manager. Everyone up here on this board wants to micromanage her job. Every single time we appoint a village manager, they don't like, they fire them. Because the village manager is not doing what they want to do for them. If it can't go my way, get rid of it. When we hired the first police chief, oh no, and he ain't our police chief, that's fine. They tried to lock out the chief we had out of his own office. He's saying trustees up here. You got the village clerk saying things, she got no business to say anything. She ain't supposed to be talking, but she wants to talk every single time. We have to use problem up here. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go because I know you heard enough. But there is more to meet the eye. Our water issue is just one of the main problems that we have. And you are correct. Money is missing. Trustees up here have no idea why. I do not know. But it is missing. And the people, we need to be accountable for our actions. You demand an accountability of everything that we do up here because this is your taxes, this is your village, and we work for you. You don't work for us.
Trustee Benson spoke for approximately 14 minutes. I'm going to try to speak less than that. But I just want you all, a lot of new faces in this audience, so I want you to please listen to me very carefully. I'm not going to talk about where the money is. This is a water meeting. I'm not going to talk about pointing fingers. I was the one that said trustees did not need to talk tonight. I was the one that said we didn't need to point fingers. My name was brought up 5 times. Here are the facts. 2 years ago, somebody in the audience asked about the IEPA being here. 2 years ago, IEPA came here. They brought charts. They talked about our water aquifer. They talked about when the contamination happened. I'm 30 years old. At that time, I was 28. They said at that time that somewhere around well 3, approximately 30 stripping. The direction was brought to Renata Hill Corley. She's the chief of staff. At that time, there was a deadline of March 31st, 2010 for her to submit the application form. She didn't do it. The water that you're talking about right now could have been fixed if the mayor and the board, the mayor and the chief of staff went with that option then. But as Trustee Benson said, I'm sorry,
and if the board directs them whether or not they want to follow my direction. They did not. If the citizen asked to make Mr. Water, we moved toward that direction, and now we still have the board is money enough to plan for Mr. Water.
I said she would lie, and she did.
First of all is correct. They go out to vote. The residents want to vote for municipal water. We were heading that way. The Illinois EPA said our water levels are getting too high and they need something done now. We've already had our engineering firm looking at ways to purchase water. Where's the attorney? All right. We're already looking at get the water from Chicago Heights, bring it down Sauk and bring it into our connection. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Illinois EPA said, no, your level's too high. We want you to do something now. We cannot wait to lay the 2.5 miles of pipe from down State Street, down Sauk Trail, and Italian Irish. They want it done now. You're going to get your Lake Michigan water. I guarantee you that. You voted on it, it's in the book, you're going to get it. But now the EPA said they can fine us $10,000 a day if we don't do something now. Is that the right fine? That's pretty close. All right, the mayor says the right fine. So we're going to do something about it. We're going to have to hold up. We're going to have to do the air stripping first, and then we're going to bring in the Lake Michigan water. But we have to do the air stripping first. If we don't, we're going to have the entire EPA down on our neck, and you will not believe what they can do. They can make this place that goes down. So give us a chance. Let's get the air stripping in here, and let's keep moving towards Lake Michigan water. That's it. That's all it's in nothing. And all the standing up here and hee-haw and waving plans and accusing everybody. Excuse my expression, the BS has to stop. The gentleman said the perfect thing a few minutes ago. Get off our rear end, start working together, including every one of you. We have to work together to get through this. And we're going to work together, we're going to get through it. but not at pointing fingers at everybody. Not saying he did it, she did it, I did it. No. We're all guilty one way or the other. And we're going to get it done. Now, we got a very, very tight time frame, and that time frame is really crucial. And they can come in and knock on our doors tomorrow and say, hey, boys and girls, wake up. It's at that critical level. We have a plan. The manager has a plan. We have a couple fine-tuning that the EPA has to accept it. Where'd you go? EPA has to come in and accept it. Oh, she's moving to me. She's going to have to. She's going to ship that out to them. They're going to prove it. We hope. We have a plan and process. All right. First thing we got to do, got to get the safe water back. All right. Then we get back. We're going to get you Chicago water. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Way around out there can hear me. I think one of the questions was asked at the first question was what have you been doing on this board?
Can't hear you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, I think the original question was, what has this village board been doing up here? And I think, first of all, as of right now, I don't need a campaign. So we heard a lot of campaigning earlier from trustee down the road here. But let's think about some of the things that's been said here tonight. Talking about the referendum and how trustees are not in favor of bringing Lake Michigan water. I don't care what your stance is on Lake Michigan water. The referendum was passed, and it's up to this board to fulfill that referendum. Jesse Dashen Jr. stood here during the water meeting and said if the water passes, the village board will be mandated to pass and move forward. This village board has had many meetings where we talked about Lake Michigan water and setting up long-term and short-term goals. Lake Michigan water is not something that is a turnkey type thing around Sauk Village. It's something that takes time. There's negotiations. There is working with other communities. There's working on getting land acquisition. We're talking about construction. And we're also talking about getting water to Sauk Village and to its residents. That is still the long-term goal. Now, for trustees to say there's ones on these boards that are not in favor of it, it doesn't matter what my personal feelings are. It matters what the residents voted on, and that's what's important. I think that we've heard the mayor make claims that he brought the water referendum to you. I'm going to set you straight here. If you just, if you want to check, I encourage you to go on the village website and check the minutes for, which I just did, March 22nd, 2011. You'll find that the water referendum was by motion by Trustee Burgess and seconded by myself to get the water referendum on the ballot. We are the trustees that brought it before to you residents so you can make the decision. If you wanted to push it. If you wanted to push the water.
This is not the first time that I brought a referendum to this building. In fact, Trustee Reed was one that knocked it off the ballot. We could have been 3 years farther down the road had it not been for Trustee Reed that really put for knocking it off the ballot the last time.
Again, we have campaigning up here for the re-election. However, I think what you have to realize is the mayor wants to say that Trustee Hayes knocked it off the ballot. That is a complete lie. And you can check the record to find out that there was a committee that was put together to review the petitions. There was irregulars found in the petitions, and it was also followed up at the Cook County Circuit Court, which also agreed with the findings of the electoral board. The electoral board was not made up of Trustee Hanks. So again, it's complete lies, and I'm bringing points of facts to you that are documented and can be found online. I encourage you to go out there and check these out. I encourage any politician who's running for office to verify what they're telling you. Because anybody can say something, and unless you verify it, you don't know if it's true or not. I'm not telling you anything that is not documented and is not factual. I think the other thing too is the residents have to look online and find out ordinance 10-123. That was an ordinance that was passed in March of 2010 to move forward with airstripping. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we would not be sitting here if the administration under Lewis Towers would move forward on getting airstripping and airstripping our wells.
Yes.
Also, Mayor Towers wants to tell you that he just recently found out that our wells had problems. That is not true. In 2009, well number 3 was brought to our attention and it exceeded the limits. And well number 3 was closed by this board. There's those that may want to take credit for closing that well down. However, it was made that decision was made by the board. The levels, I think what you have to realize is, again, it's documented, folks. Go online and check the facts. And you know what? I think what's sad here is that I have the floor and we have the chair of this meeting who is out of order. And we have his little minion next to him who is out of order.
This is the same gentleman that says that he will not respect
Mr. Mayor, again, there is other things that would encourage residents to go, that this issue has been going on. There's been meeting after meeting to discuss this issue. The village has had nothing but continued stall tactics and stopping anything moving forward by the mayor. It's documented, it's part of the minutes. I encourage you to go out there and read the minutes. They're online. And here we go again, the mayor refuses to come over. So I
2 minutes.
Again, the mayor's not keeping order, so I apologize, because the mayor's duty here is to keep the quorum in order. He's refusing. In fact, he's not willing to water.
Fix the water. You don't deserve the mayor.
I think what we have to recognize is that vinyl chloride
Fix the water.
levels,
What happened in 2 minutes?
Vinyl chloride levels have been, this board knew about it, and they have been rising over the years. However, those levels have increased and rose faster than the experts expected. And that's why we are today, because even the experts did not expect the levels to rise as fast as they have.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I was on it for 30 years.
That's only the board.
I got elected last year. Now, one citizen asked, what have you been doing in that time? In that time, I've been fixing a lot of things in Parks and Recs. For one, $98,000 missing when Peanut Benson had it. We don't know where that money went. A closed building was down. I had baseball fields that were just grown out of control, like trees were in.
Here's another line from the trustee.
But for the safety of the kids, I got the building open. We got parks that are being repaired. We got the basketball court that got put out there. We're having events. We had the circus. We took kids to the soccer park. I was very busy with a lot of other things, doing things for the community. And I do apologize. I should have directed a lot more of my attention to the water like I should have. But when all those things were in disarray, I had to bring them back. I had to try to restore Sauk Village some way. Baseball fields just got cleaned up. We started engineering firm with Robinson Engineering. They helped out with baseball fields. The same people helping us working on our water. Now, where that money's at, I don't know. He started a football program. People in here complaining, and even I was complaining where my money was at. I mean, you know, it's just so many things that happened with this trustee right here. We had to close, they closed down the community center before I got in. I had so much work I had to do. But I applaud him for trying to come out and stand for something, but he sure didn't stand for kids in this village when he shut down the community center and had somebody in there with no background check. So, I am going to refer to the water. So understand that, citizen. I did vote for the airstripping to go forward with the IEPA, the emergency hookup to go forward. I did vote those caps. Now, who did vote for it and doesn't want to get safety to your water right away, they're not doing their duty. The duty to act is now. You need safety water. The airstripping is going to be faster. The emergency hookup is just an emergency. We can't run off Lake Michigan water. The IEPA said that it's not acceptable to try to use it as long as we need to get our Lake Michigan water hookup. So you're going to have to go to airstripping, or what's going to happen? If the contaminant of the water goes too high, then they're going to just shut us all down. They can make us evacuate. Now what we all going to do then? That's not going to happen. We got to go with the airstripping. Now, as far as the water contaminant, no, I wouldn't recommend you drinking it. That's for one. Now, as far as bathing, washing your clothes in it, I don't know, limit the amount of use until we get back the proper numbers from the IEPA. But I wouldn't recommend it, no. So, I mean, I do agree with Trustee Benson only on that part. That, no, I wouldn't use it for that. But, like I said, if you can use it for an amount of time, try not to use it too much. And what the young lady said earlier, my mom died of cancer. Makes me wonder, because she lived in this village longer than me. I was born, I wasn't born here. I came here at age 5. I'm 35 now. And yeah, my mom did die of cancer. So yeah, the water is an issue to me out here. But yeah, there was a lot of other issues that came into my plate when I came to office. I had to clean up a lot of other things. I wasn't really looking at the water like I should. But I am looking at it now. And to see here now that we are moving forward, I'm going to move forward. And even though the mayor is going to veto the airstripping, I'm going to make sure I vote to overturn this veto to get you guys that safe water. Because we can't evacuate our home. That's ludicrous. Because that's what's going to happen. We can't wait 8, 9, 10 years for Lake Michigan water to come in here. We can't. It's just unacceptable. So we need to do something now, folks. And I'm just going to pass it over to Burgess. That is me right here.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Citizens, I just want to say a couple of things. I'm not going to hold it because your question was, what's the plan and what you plan on doing? I mean, first thing I just like to apologize. You guys didn't come here to see this board, right? You come back any other time to see what happened. You didn't come here to see us politic. You got up out of your beds, you got up out of your homes and everything to find out what solution, how are we going to move forward with the information that we got today and yesterday. That's what you came here for, to find out what are we going to do as the leaders of this village to move this village forward with the water situation. Not to hear us argue back and forth, throw names to us. You can hear that any other Tuesday. This Tuesday I was hoping that we would go and we would conduct ourselves in a manner to show some type of unity to move this village forward with the water issue. But you haven't heard that. You heard all the other stuff. But what I want to say is this. EPA did state that they, at this particular point in time, did not see that we had the money, nor did we have the resources to go out and get Lake Michigan water right now. That's what was told to us. I don't know if it was passed on to anyone, but that's what was told to us because due to how many shut-offs that we have and people paying late notices, there was no money, and they didn't see that we had the money to pay back for the infrastructure costs, which would be over $20 million, which would put your water bill at a high rate. So their recommendation was to give us a low-interest loan for the airstripping process, and then at that time, once we do that, we would come off the list, we would be able to go back to being able to drink the water, use the water, and then move forward with Lake Michigan water. And at that time, we'd have to still raise the rates, but not as much, not as quick. That's what they said by the EPA. I don't know if anyone got that, but that's what was said. Also, we need, and I didn't hear anything tonight, a step-by-step plan. So you guys, I heard a lot of people asking the question, what do we do now? Do I go home and drink the water? Do I go home and bathe in the water? What do I do with the water? Everyone's saying I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. But I'm sorry. I'm a resident here just like everybody else here, and I'm a taxpayer just like everybody else here. What the hell do I do? What do I do? Am I going to sit here and just wait for you to come back? Maybe give me some information Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday? Or is there a step-by-step plan? Right now, there isn't one. It should have been one in place a long time ago when we voted, and I say we, I'm talking about the residents of Sauk Village, voted to procure and to secure Lake Michigan water. The very next day should have been a plan in place to say, okay, we got the mandate from the people, let's move forward, let's get this done. A plan to have this happen that was never implemented. So the only thing I can tell you guys is this. As far as my recommendation, for right now, I would, a lot of people are saying that we should provide drinking water. A lot of people think we should pay the water bill. Well, this is the village, I hate to say it, but it is a business. If we quit paying the bills, we have to lay people off, and we won't have service. We have a lot of main break people. We have a lot of breaks in this village. And it's nobody's out there to fix them. Well, that's okay. But we have a lot of breaks. We have a lot of main breaks in the village. We have a lot, and the infrastructure is old. So we have to take care of it. You don't want a main break on your neighborhood and the water spewing out the ground and you can't turn your water on in your house. Somebody has to have that. Somebody has to fix that. So yes, we have to have that. But we should have been sitting back a while back, and I'm guilty of it. A while back, I said, okay, someone else come up with a plan. I kept putting it off. It should have happened a long time ago. This should never have happened. We should never have gotten to this point today. That someone is going to dictate to us what we have to do. So I'm hoping now, and I'm asking this board now, that we have to roll up our sleeves to do whatever to bring you guys an answer back, step by step, Friday. Not next week, not we're going to wait like Friday. Have a step-by-step plan, so if IEPA comes in here and shuts us down, what do? You don't have to come back, you don't have to go back and forth with this argument, you don't have to hear everybody politicking. You have it in black and white, because guess what? If we don't do it, somebody else will for it. That's all I got to say. Thank you very much for coming out.
I know it's getting late in the evening, and we want to wrap this up because you heard the trustees stated that we will have another meeting on Friday, and we will be able to provide the answer. But before we continue on, I'd like Trustee Benson to add one more thing to the right.
Turn his mic off.
All I have to talk about this may be something that you may want to hear. Where we should be and provide charging you for water. I want to hear you say what the board should be recommending.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. What the board should recommend is that no one, I do mean no one in this village, should pay a dime on a water bill until we can give them healthy, quality, and quantity of drinking water.
You mentioned our gas. If you want to ruin the village,
Hello, Mr. Mayor and Board. My name is Larry Stewart. I've been in Sauk Village for about 12 years. My family's been here 30. I'm very disappointed this is a regular Tuesday night. Regular. Just other people get to see what's going on. We've got a majority that don't mean nothing. We've got a minority that's looking at it where they're a majority. The issue I was looking for was an audit tonight. But water is important. An audit would have superseded that. It would tell us if we could afford that water. Right now, somebody happened to told us, from what I'm understanding, Mr. Mayor, that all we can afford is airstrip. Is that true?
The citizen knew at the time when there was a binding referendum that there was going to be an increase in the water rate. It was on the referendum. In order to go to Lake Michigan water, we know we're going to have to pay for more. But at the point now, what about your health? What about our health? What about our kids?
I understand, but you're contradicting yourself. Last week, you said you would veto any increase that it would cost the citizens. I applaud you on that.
I said I would increase any increase when the board don't have a plan to increase the water rate. Why would we put on the agenda to raise the rate when we had never heard what the IEPA was going to say? I thought that was too premature to put anything on the agenda to raise the rate on the citizens when right now we're talking about not even giving them water. So how in the heck should we raise that rate? That's what I was going to be told. And if it's still staying, yes, I'm still going to be told.
I understand the water issue is very important. As I stated, the issue I was looking for was the audit, where I know exactly how much we have to spend, if we can't spend anything. I know that most people don't care what the water costs. I really like hearing that from them people. They got that type of money. They don't care what it costs. But what I'd like to know is, how much does the village have to pay for that? I understand that you spoke to the governor. I understand some people, you know, have a direct link to the President Obama. But I'm not seeing to where how much money. 2 minutes. Mr. Mayor, you're doing a fine job.
Hello, my name is Annette Blair. I've been living in and out of the village for the last 25 years. And this same conversation about Lake Michigan water was happening in the 80s, the 90s. Left, come back, it's happening again. And it's always the main thing, the money. The money. The money. I guess in the 80s it must have cost $1 million. How much is it now? I tell you, that's a lot of money. But anyway, according to the IEPA, go to their website. You'll be very surprised what they're saying about this water. Very surprised. So I'm saying to y'all, on the board, the committee, check out what they're saying. Let that be your decision. Because yes, they are saying this here water can give you this. Yes, they are saying people can really get sick from this water. I tell you.
The kid finally hit the dirt.
According to the IEPA website, if you have the internet, type in IEPA. It will give you all the contaminated water areas in the United States. It'll also mention Illinois and Sauk Village. Read what they're saying. They said that the water is bad, it's poisonous. People that have 1, 2, 3, or 4 people in their house, they're very likely to get sick. If you have a large family where your water is constantly running, you have a better chance of not getting sick. So it's just me and my husband. So if I have to turn this water on, this water has to run for at least 2 or 3 hours to make it safe for us to drink. But thank God we don't drink. But anyway, it's just, they're very intelligent people. Community, elected y'all, check out the website. Yeah, y'all, hands up, but y'all had 15, 20, I don't know how long. But just check out the website.
In regards to the water, I heard one trustee say that he had verification, something to that effect. I want to know, can you verify that the water is indeed safe to drink? Now, we have provided proof that it's not. EPA proved that it's not safe. But you keep saying it's safe to drink. Trustee Hanks, I'm talking to you.
You never heard me say it's safe to drink. I didn't talk about the water.
You said it was safe to drink.
You're talking about the mayor. The mayor's been saying that all night.
Trustee Hanks, how long have you been a trustee? See, he's been a trustee for a long time, and he knew this water was bad. I know he didn't do nothing about it.
I've been doing here for a long time. I've lived in this village for 4 years. I have been a trustee now for 14 years. We have an EPA and IEPA notice that's out. Now, once did you hear me tonight ever say that the water was safe to drink? I have not talked about the water tonight, especially when it came about drinking and anything about this IEPA notice. So, you say I haven't done anything. Go back and look. 2009, closed well 3 when the limits exceeded. We've had many meetings talking about the water. We've tried to set long-term and short-term goals. Just last week alone, we passed the water rates that was approved by the village residents according to the Lake Michigan Water Referendum. In fact, it was approximately 30 cents less than what the residents approved. We also said move forward with the IEPA's recommendations to go forward with airstripping. If you go back to 2010, I was one of the trustees that said go with the IEPA's recommendations with airstripping. So to say that we haven't tried to put things in motion to make sure that the village residents have safe drinking water, number one, we've made steps, or we've tried to make steps for quite a long time. This village has had 3 attorney firms since this mayor's been elected. You have, Mr. Mayor, please. Since
you brought that up, the board fired every one of them.
That's not true, and I would ask that everyone would go off and check online, because again, the mayor, I'm sorry folks if you support him or not, but the mayor is lying to you tonight. He's lying to you about the water. He's lying to you about everything. But you check the minutes and you'll find out that the attorney firms resigned. Why? Pressure of the mayor. Why? Tell them why. Pressure of the mayor. Tell them why Judge Stunman resigned. Tell them why Judge Stunman lost her resigned. Tell them why. Calm down, please. Because the board calm down to resign. Ladies and gentlemen, I have sat here very quiet tonight. I've let other trustees talk, I've let the mayor talk, but it seems that every time I get this mic, and all I do is I start mentioning some facts, the mayor wants to attack me. And I think what you should realize is that when a person goes on the defensive, just like the mayor is, he's guilty. I am not. Folks, I'm stating facts all along. Facts that can be proven. I encourage you to go check the minutes online, and you will find out that this village board did not fire one of the attorney firms. The attorney firms have all resigned under pressure of the mayor.
Because y'all wouldn't pay.
So I think you have to realize is every time you lose a village attorney, you start all over again. So again, I think what some people need to do is, I'm sure that we'll be able to find some these tapes, you'll be able to hear things that have been on the news tonight, is listen to find out who said the water was safe to drink, and you're going to find out it was the man in the middle, Mr. Mayor.
I really got to comment on what Trustee Hicks said. There's no reason for me to fire the attorney firm that I bring in. These are my attorney firm. I brought them with me. So why would I fire? Why would I fire the village manager that I brought in with me? Why would I fire the first black police chief that I brought in with me? Why would I fire him? I said, don't let it there and be hoodwinked by Trustee Hicks. Trustee Hicks said I fired anybody. What he did was fire everybody. He fired everybody that I brought in and tried to fire the village manager right here. Right now, we're still fighting to keep this village manager in. Right now, the job that she's doing, because she's doing the job that the job say that she's supposed to be doing, not the job that the trustees say that she's doing. Let her do her job so we can get safe drinking water for the village of Sauk.
I think what the residents need to do is make sure you, again, check out the minutes. You'll find out the mayor's lying to you and all he's doing is trying to hype you up. This is nothing more than politicking, number one. And number two, his statement I find racial. He wants to talk about me firing a first black chief. Ladies and gentlemen, the chief was let go by more than just one vote. And number two, he did not bring that chief in. That chief was appointed by the board and went through a number of meetings with people, interviews, thank you very much. Went through a number of interviews, and he was voted on, and I approved to bring him on board. So again, the mayor is not telling the truth, ladies and gentlemen. He hasn't told the truth since he stepped in front of the mic tonight. That's all I'm going to say.
They're gone, I think. Are they here? Are they here? They're gone. That's the truth. Bottom line. Bottom line, they're gone. Everybody that I bring in here, this board, fired. Bottom line.
Once again, you have been a trustee longer. You was trustee with
Stand up. Stand up.
You was a trustee with previous management. And y'all could have did something.
Talking tonight.
Put the finger at this man.
Right.
He's only been the mayor for 3 years. He's only been the mayor for 3 years, and y'all gonna blame him for everything? No. You was here when Hazel was here. You was here when Pepper was here. You've been the longest running trustee. Don't even play it. I'm not through. Not through.
Now they're going to call too much.
2 years. I'm going to make one more statement. One more statement and I'm through. Now y'all do realize that as citizens of Sauk Village, we can, within our rights, make a class action lawsuit, but every day y'all gonna do y'all job. Y'all do that. Y'all do know that, right? Trustee Hank, don't look at me like that. Every day you don't do your job, we get to sue you.
I think what we have to say. I think you made a statement that I was here when Ed Pazel was here. I'm not that old. I was under Peckham, yes, I was, and under Lewis College. So I think I just wanted to clear that up, that I wasn't under Ed Pazel. But I think what we have here is there seems to be residents that's only lived in this village for probably within less than 8 years that have listened to lies. And I think anyone that's lived here longer than 8 years, maybe 10 years, They know my record. They know my family. And they know that I'm not, I don't intentionally lie. That's why I try to make sure that whatever I provide, I'll make sure I provide the facts.
Lying right now.
Hello? Excuse me. I have not spoken yet.
Shut up. Let her talk.
Okay, my name is Evelyn Sterling. I've been a resident for 3 years, and I've been to several meetings. And the first issue is that you all are not mature enough to make, excuse me, thank you. You are not mature enough to make decisions. That's why things don't get done. And so I plead to you as a resident of Sauk Village to please
resign.
Be mature, that too, but since you're here, just be mature enough to rectify the issue with the water. I have been on a water committee since I've been here to make sure that this has happened. So just please subside, put everything aside, what you have against each other, and just make sure that our water is safe. Also, at the end of the day, people want to hear details of what you are looking to do. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, with everything else, whether it was yesterday, 10 years from now, 2 years ago, whatever. Just tell us details of what you plan to propose to IEPA, and also give us details on the airstrips. If the airstrips is what we need for right now, to handle the issue right now, give us some description. What is it? What does it do? Is it a Band-Aid? Is it going to fix it? Is it just for now? If so, and you all plan to get the Lake Michigan water, then let us know. Give us a timeline. It's going to take 3 years to get Lake Michigan water. In the meantime, we're going to get the airstrips. The airstrip is going to take this much time. We need detail. We wouldn't even have all this arguing, all this back and forth, all the pointing fingers if you all would give us details. So I just ask for details.
Let me just say, I think I started out saying that the IEPA has suggested for us to go to airstripping for right now. Not one time did you hear me say that we're going to abandon the Lake Michigan Water Project. But they said that in order to fix the wells right now so that we can have safe water to drink, to bathe in or whatever, we have to go to airstripping. That's all that's the bottom line now. We got to go to airstripping. Certainly, it's a Band-Aid. It's nothing long range. That's why we didn't want to go to it from the first place. We shouldn't have to spend the kind of money that we're going to have to spend and abandon this Band-Aid in a few years or a few months, actually, if we get the well back up to where we can have water until we get the Lake Michigan Water Project.
My name is David Holland. I've been out there 6 years. I have 4 children born here in Sauk Village. And my question to each and every one of you, because I only heard one man out there deem this water to be unsafe and speak the truth. Because I heard the gentleman over here say politicking. Politicking is not when you speak out. Politicking is when you're quiet, when you know the facts need to be brought forth. So I by a shorthand, everybody that's deemed this water unsafe and unfit for me and my children when they raise their hand. And here's the thing. I know enough to know where power lies. Haven't you have more power than the mayor? You run this board, and you've been on this board for the longest. Whatever you say, go, whoever you put up here, this is what's happening. And you are, because this man over here, at least he apologized. Shafir, at least he say he dropped the ball. You say, I ain't talking about the water. You say quiet. And you still push the issue on the mayor. It ain't about the mayor back and forth. I got personal issues with the mayor, if that's the thing. But guess what? This is about the water.
Yeah.
And you still haven't thrown the ball home. You ain't stepped up to the plate. You haven't addressed this properly as the man with all the power on the board.
Yeah.
You haven't. You at stake here. See, I love the way, yes, Chavez, I love you, man. You know you my guy, you my saint, but you shouldn't have when you supposed to jump on this bandwagon. I don't care what he did, because I'm right with you with the kids. Just like with Judge Stelly, I got a program with Judge Stelly. We was getting the youth, the black youth, from his program at my church. I know what Judge Stelly does. And I know he was here, and I know y'all fired him.
Yeah.
So the same thing, Chavez, what you said about this man spoke the truth. It's a shame that nobody said anything until this man spoke up and spoke the truth. Y'all kept quiet and hold on your politics position. And children are at stake here. Every last one of y'all guilty of that. And you gonna have to answer before God. By the way, yes, I am a minister of the gospel. And every one of y'all gonna have to, and you call yourself a man of God. And you say, liars. I'm just listening to Revelation. Boy, I just want to say, with my homework to listen to Revelation. Yes, all lies will have this place in the lake of fire. If you are supporting this job, y'all got to get down here too.
Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think what the residents need to realize is that the mayor was supposed to come out here and give the statements, and again, all comments and stuff are supposed to go through the mayor. The mayor was the one who had all the information to provide the village residents. So I think what happens is, you say we sit here quietly. The village board is bound by the IEPA and the Attorney General. We have the statements that were provided by the IEPA and the Attorney General, and into certain circumstances, that's pretty much all the information we have. And at the same time, a lot of this is still under pending litigation. So there's certain things that, as your elected officials, that we have to be cautious about talking about. So the news release from the IEPA talks about the contamination to the vinyl chloride. It talks about the levels. And this is all the information that they have provided the board at this time. So again, with the news release coming out, this is providing the information to the residents so they can make a decision on what they're going to be pushing.
Mr. Mayor, my name is Francine Anderson, and I have several questions and several statements. First of all, I will have a question, and that is to you, Mr. Mayor. Did we not, as the village of Sauk Village, apply for a loan for the Lake Michigan water to the South Suburban Mayors and Managers Association?
We did apply for a loan for the South Suburban Mayors and Management Association to get the emergency hooked up for Lake Michigan water.
And were we also not denied that?
No, we didn't. We were never denied it yet.
We weren't denied as of yet. Okay, so there's a possibility that we still might be able to get funds so that we can get that taken care of instead of scaring citizens about the amount of money that, remember, that the trustees have to go down. And instead of looking at the referendum and the kinds of money that we voted on in the referendum, from my understanding, you are now telling people that our water is going to be $10 per 1,000 gallons. That's not what we voted on. The language in the referendum stated $6.80, which was a $3 per 1,000 gallons increase. So you don't take me from $3 to $10 without my vote. Because what I voted on and what I tell you and how you interpret it is two different things. But I need to know, and I want the people to know, that the vote comes from the trustees sitting in the seat. So you can raise it as much as you want. But remember, some of us have the know-how and the willingness to make you do something legally in the right way. And I don't stand alone.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
I think every citizen in this town deserves some accountability. We all have lived here, whether it's been since the beginning, your 57, to my 28, until the person who just bought a house yesterday. We all pay taxes, and we all want to do something with the water. And it all comes in all our homes. So in my 10 seconds, I would like to say that we are going to hold each and every trustee accountable for how you spend our money. Because in the long run, it's the citizens that still got paid. And for those who say you ain't got no money, Mr. Mayor, tell them they need to learn that 1 + 1 is 2. And
Mr. Mayor, just so that the residents are clear, the referendum that was passed was an increase of $6 on your current bill. I think you need to go back and relook at that again, because that's the way it was worded. It was an increase of $6 on your current bill. So it's there, it's part of the referendum, and that's the way it was passed.
No.
Well, in the event, until we get enough information, until we get a plan, I still state, and I still go by, we cannot raise the rates of the village residents until we have a definite plan of what we're going to do, whether or not we're going to be able to provide any water. How can we sit here and want to raise your rates and don't know whether or not we can provide water? So, in the event that the board decides to move forward with it, yes, I will be veto until the board come up with a plan to make sure that we're doing the best thing for the residents of Sauk. In closing, let me just say, we are all in this together. We are going to do whatever we have to do necessary to make sure that we provide the best quality of water for all our residents. And we will not hold any information from you. Whatever information that we get from the IEPA in the next couple of days, you will get that same information. You heard Trustee Burton say we will have a meeting on Friday. Well, ask the village manager to make sure that we put everything in place so that we will have a meeting. You will be contacted. You will know that we are hoping by then we will have some answers whether or not we need to move past Sauk Village water. Thank you all for coming out. Good night, and hope everybody have a safe night.
Mr. Mayor.
Be quiet.
I think what we need to make sure that we have clear is the village board has 5 vetoes before it from you. One of them regarding moving forward the IEPA loan. The next one is the water rates. We also have vetoes denying funding personnel. And we also have a motion for the budgeting cycle to 6 months, and also placing revenue received from sub-houses account. So the village board has received these motions, or these vetoes and motions. So it's something that the village board is ready to vote on next Tuesday night.
Okay. I'd like a motion to adjourn. So moved. Need a second?
Let's go.